got to stabilize the population. When I was born,
so what's wrong with the population? I mean,
with too many people. That's why we have global warming. We have global warming because too many people are using too much stuff. But if there were less people, they'd be using less stuff.
While we're talking about sustainability, we have to have sustainable human numbers. We've got to get serious about family planning and stabilize the population.
My name is Dave, and thank you so much for coming out here today, Ted. You stated before that you want to see a 95% population reduction from present level to bring us down to 250 to 300 million people, if I'm not correct. Now, many people...
Let me just correct that, because that's not really true. I think, I'm trying to remember, Paul and Ann earlier, we had a meeting, they're big population experts out of Stanford University, and I had thought in terms of that, but Paul had told me we need about, he thinks we need, the right number is about 2 billion people, which is about a third of where we are. That way we would have enough people to have a commercial airline industry, although right now, I'm not sure whether we'd be better off without it or not. Joking with the service. But the 2 billion is the number that everyone can live at a decent standard of living, like the average American or European. Obviously, we could probably support 8 or 10 billion if we live like the average African or Indian person from India. But do we want to live like that? Don't we want to, those of us who like to have a car, would like to have color TV, would like to have a refrigerator and air conditioner, which only a very few people in the world have. There's not enough resources in the world to supply 6.5 billion people, yet less 8 billion with those basic, what we consider basic things.
Well, my question for you with that in mind is various people have posited different ideas of how to achieve this reduction. Prince Philip of the UK said and Henry Kissinger stated food control and possibly genetic modification of food as a way to hold back third world populations. And with that in mind, is your substantial funding of the endlessly controversial polio vaccine in the third world, is that a contradiction of your desire to reduce population levels, or is it some sort of closed instrument to actually achieve this? Thank you.
Well, I
think the basis of this question is how would you get to that population?
The way I think that we should get there is have a voluntary target of one-child families for 100 years, and that would get us there naturally. We're back there down to around 2 billion if we had one child per family like they do in China now.
Are you saying that? I think you're going to future, let me know why. So why don't we let the next person come forward? Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Turner. Last week in an interview on Charlie Rose, you stated that we need to immediately address the situation of global warming by stabilizing the global population.
That's one thing. It's going to take dozens of things to stabilize global warming. Dozens of things. Certain energy savings, more efficient clean energy systems with solar and wind and lots of other things.
Right, sir. And indeed, you mentioned the fact that, quote, there was too many people using too many things, and that's the origin of our problems. However, I find that quite incongruous with the fact that you are the largest landowner in the United States with over 2 million acres, and you are slightly less.
But those acres are being managed in a poor environment with friendly, less carbon dioxide producing than any other land anywhere in the world.
Additionally, the issue is also that there's a major aquifer that runs under some of your lands.
If I could just ask you though, this is just a question opportunity, so if you have a question for this alternative, let's do this.
How do we deal with the hypocrisy that so many elite characters own such large lands and at the same time are calling for near neo-feudal conditions for the rest of us?
Thank you. This question had to do in terms of the amount of ownership that next question, please.
Mr. Turner, you are a chief component of population reduction in order to supposedly save the world or save the earth. But I find it really critical that you espouse these views even though you yourself have 5 children.
And I think that's a very good point. That's a very good point. And my youngest child is turning 40 right now. 40 years ago, the world population was less than half what it is today. It was 3 billion. If I had known we were going to get to 6.5 billion, I would have only had 1 or 2. If I had knew over there, you can't shoot it once they're here.
We know what's going on with the global depopulation.
Okay, we're not going to have you do this.
We know what's going on.
We know your CFR and Bilderberg.
There's a movie about it.
We know. We know you love China. We know you're not a savior. You're a parasite.
Everyone's waking up.
It's like a place of retirement. Okay.
I know. Come on. What?
Free Tibet.
Free
Free Tibet?
Exactly.
Yeah, you want one child.
No,
that's a joke.
I know.
I know. Got free speech, man.
Well, the population, they're slowly waking up. We're starting to read CFR documents.
You know what's going on. Come on.
Okay? It's like we're using our minds. We're not little slaves anymore. We're going to wake.
You're not our savior, okay? You're a parasite. You're not our savior, okay? Just let you know that.
95% reduction. You're not our God.
That was Autobahn magazine. Don't act like you never said that.
You're not our God. We are not your slaves.
Okay? Just want to let you know that.
See, we actually read the documents in the white papers. We know what actually goes on. And it's he should be so ashamed of himself.
This isn't a joke. Nope.
I mean, like, talking about China's one-child policy.
And how great it is.
Been to China? Do you understand?
You know what the one-child policy has brought?
Like, violations that go on there all the time.
Tons of abortions and a 30 million difference between males and females.
We're going to step back.
Okay.
Just exercising our free speech right. Get it.